So if you're tired of getting your kills stolen, or I guess sharing your kills at the exfil sites in Modern Warfare Zombies to grind and farm zombies for various different reasons, whether you're going for, leveling up your weapons, going for those camos, whatever it may be, I think I may have found some methods that are better. They are probably the better methods to go with, and most likely you're not going to have anyone bothering you in these methods, and that's kind of partly and mostly what makes them better, is it's just going to be you, and you're going to have a sufficient amount of zombies that are going to constantly and infinitely spawn again and again and again and again and again, helping you grind and farm those zombie kills to get your weapons leveled up, and of course get your camos if you're trying to get the zombies camos as well. Now maybe you're just trying to get your weapon levels up for multiplayer, and this is just the quickest way to do it, and it probably really is. Either way, if you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. We do a variety of gaming content here on the channel, talk about the games, play the games, kind of the best of both worlds. And without further ado, let's jump into this. So I have two different methods to talk about. You can choose which one you think is best for you, or you can try both and then figure out from there which one you prefer, between the two. So the first one we're going to be talking about is going to be a contract, which is called the Outlast contracts. If you kind of, zoom around your map, they kind of look like a satellite looking thing for the contracts. You go to that location and then you pick up the contract and you go to a different location. And basically the way that these contracts are going to work is you're going to be inside of a building that's going to have a bunch of blue crystals. There's a device called a PND you're going to have to activate, and then you're going to have to stay by it in order for it to kind of progress, and it gets to 100%. The thing about this contract is that around the perimeter somewhere outside the building, there are zombies that are spawning. That's how they're coming in. They're constantly flooding the building. Now you may be wondering, well, how do I do this infinitely? Because obviously the progress bar is going to fill up. Yes, technically it does, but only if you're inside the building. If you're outside the building, then it does not fill up, and that is kind of the key right there, is that you're going to go outside, and that's where the zombies spawn. You're going to look for the spawn, and once you find it, and usually, basically, what it's going to look like is you're going to see a bunch of zombies coming out of the ground, and then when you kill zombies, you're going to see more coming out of the ground, and that's when you know, okay, I found a spawn. So in my case, for the gameplay you guys see on screen, it ended up being on this, kind of hill, just a little bit in the back of the building that I was in. I was in the church location. And so right there, I just kept killing them. And the good thing about this that is better than the exfil, at least unless you're doing exfil in zone 2 or 3, is that hellhounds spawn. Now, this could be bad or good depending, right? It's good because there's some challenges and some camos, some daily challenges and some camos, that is, that require you to kill hellhounds. And they could be kind of hard to find, scattered across, especially in level 1 zones and different things like that. But they spawn abundantly here. So you'll have plenty of those for those camos as well. Now, that could be annoying if you don't need hellhound kills, obviously. But either way, they spawn forever. I sat in a spot for probably like 15 to 20 minutes and it just kept spawning and spawning and spawning. The PND progress stayed at 0% because I wasn't in the building. And then when I was tired of doing it, I went inside the building. I progressed it, finished my contract, and I'm good to go. Or you just cancel the contract. Do whatever you want. You just push the open up your map and then hold triangle or Y if you're on Xbox or whatever the equivalent button is on keyboard and mouse, and you're good to go. The one thing I will mention is with any of these methods, from what I've heard, I don't know for sure, I haven't tested this per se, but from what the word is that when you get about 750 kills, so about 750 kills, the XP you're getting from zombies start to dip, I think by like 4 times less. So I know there's no way to check how many kills you're getting. Unfortunately, hopefully they would add that at some point. Because it's really annoying not knowing, especially if you're going for camos that need 250 kills, and you're like, well, how many kills do I even have? I don't even know. It'd be nice to see that and progression, for your camos, if you check that, in the gunsmith somehow, but there's no option to do that, unfortunately. So that said, just kind of, feel it out. 750 kills. I mean, I spent probably a good, like I said, 20 minutes there, and I only had maybe close to 500 kills. So I don't know, you do the math, you spend maybe 30 minutes there and only be getting up to 750 kills. I would say it's roughly 30 minutes session. And that's if you're solo. If you're with someone, then obviously it's gonna be a little bit more spread out. It could be an entire game before you get to 750 kills using this method. So that's number 1. Number 2 is another contract, and this one I actually stumbled on by accident. I was going to make a video talking about the first method, and that was going to be that. But then I stumbled across this method, and I think it may be better, so I wanted to include it in the video as well, because again, it was very interesting. So the second one is another contract, and it is the Spore contract. So the Spore contract, what you're going to be doing is you're going to look for the Spore contract on your map. Literally looks like a spore, like an egg kind of looking thing. You're going to activate it, and what happens happens is it's going to bring you to a location. There's a little like lunchbox or toolbox kind of thing. You're going to open it up, and there's going to be these devices in it. You can pick up multiple devices, but you can only equip 2 at a time. You got to throw these devices on the spores. And then zombies start to spawn. Now, zombies start to spawn right away, but what I think I've noticed, now again, this is kind of like hit and miss, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems to be through the couple, I did multiple spore contracts, and it seems to be the case, is that, number one, once you put the device on the spore, it seems to start to spawn more zombies. But I did think that, I think the device may break at some point, or the zombies may break them, because there was a second time where I was doing a contract, and eventually the devices were disappeared. And I didn't know where they went, and so I was a little bit confused about that. So I don't know if they break for sure or not, but either way, that's that. Now, that's one thing that I think makes more zombies spawn. The other thing is that if there's more spores around. So once you destroy spores, I think less zombies spawn. So if you don't destroy any spores, but you have spores basically activated, especially if they're in close proximity to each other. If you have like 3-4 spores in close proximity, it seems to spawn more zombies, at least from my testing. It just seems to get like way more zombies, come up. But again, it's hard to say, 100%, but I'm pretty convinced that is the case. So I would say give that a go, test it out for yourself, and feel it out and see, if you notice significant amount of more zombies spawning, if there's more spores, especially in close proximity, and also, if you have multiple devices thrown on multiple different spores, because again, it seems like I was getting more zombies in that case. And, they kept coming in, and it just seemed like the best one. I would say between the two methods we just talked about, the spore method and the PND method, or the Outlast one, rather, is what it's called. I would say that the spore ones seem to be better, because in the Outlast mission, the way they spawn, they're kind of more scattered and stuff. With the spore ones, it's usually in areas that are kind of in tighter proximity, and so it just feels like the zombies, kind of bunch up a little bit better, and they get closer to you a little bit faster, a little bit more easily. So I would say probably the spore one is my preferred one. That's going to be the one that I think I'm going to focus on grinding. And again, the benefit of this is, like I said, is you have all these zombies to yourself, most likely, unless there's people like start coming in and start, messing with you. But for the most part, I mean, everybody does the exfil method. Everybody's at an exfil almost all the time. You got to share kills. Yeah, there's a lot more zombies there, technically speaking. So there is that, excuse me. There is that, but at the same time, I think the spore method is maybe better. I don't know. Like I said, you can do the testing. You can try both out for yourself. But I think these are great alternatives at the very least, and I wanted to mention them here in this video. So if you do enjoy this, information, whatever, be sure to leave a like. If you don't like it, you can dislike it. Let me know why, so I can improve the content in the future. And let me know what you guys think. What is the best method? Do you still think it's the exfil method? Do you think one of these contracts, or is there something else that you know of that maybe I don't, or none of us do, that you've stumbled across? If so, let us know in the comments, and stick around for more content here on the channel. Until the next one, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching. Hey you! What are you doing? Join the Skeleton Army! Do it today! Don't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow might never come. The Earth is gonna fade, that's inevitable. The next second of your life's not even promised, so you better think about where you're going, and you might as well just join the Skeleton Army. Plus, we do kind of like you a little bit, so it'd be nice to see you around here. But if you don't want to, hey, your loss. See you later!